back to doing what you were doing. Probably in the house. Okay. Hey, everybody. I know you guys were expecting uh, Mama Bear's Essential Oils class, but Robin is not feeling well, so she's in the house laying down. And now she's spying on me out here. But one of the reasons why I wanted to jump on live here is to come out here to my pasture, and I'm taking a look at the grazing habits of my calves. And I'm going to show you here the paddock that I'm standing in. They were grazing on the day before yesterday. Okay, this is what it looks like after they've grazed it. Okay, now these couple of paddocks, you can see that the grass level is different, and some of them were on, they were on, like when I cross over to here, right in here. Okay, this was all where the eggmobile is. This was all like a week ago. Okay, now it used to look like that. It used to look like this. All this right over here. See the difference? See the line? Boop, boop, where the electric fencing was? Over here. See the definite line where the fencing stops? Okay? Now, they were in the paddock that they're in now. They were in it. They've been in this paddock now for like 2 days. Okay? And again, we obviously need to make the paddock smaller yet again, because our main goal is 1 day. I want them in here 1 day and then be able to bounce them again. So we're probably going to take this paddock and cut it in half. Okay? So tomorrow evening, these 5 calves, we're going to get moved into this tall, luscious salad bar right here. Okay, now in this grass there's a mixture of plantain, Bahia, Bermuda, some Johnson's grass, but as you can see, a lot of plantain seed heads, all different other sorts of grass. There's some what the crap is it? Ladessa eats it all the time. There's sheep sorrel, yeah, sheep sorrel. There's a bunch of other wild edibles out here, and they're just gonna. Now, here's a good way to look at it. Okay, look down the fence line. Okay, wood sorrel. This side they grazed on. This side they haven't yet. Okay, now we're gonna move them again. Like I said, tomorrow evening we'll put them out in this thick stuff. We'll cut this paddock size down in half because, as you can see, they stomped down on a little bit all, and I want them eating it hardcore. Blaze is still fighting me a little bit with making the paddock sizes. I tell him smaller, and he does the opposite because he doesn't want to move them every day. But he gets free rent, so he's going to start making them smaller, or he'll be living under a bridge. But there they are. You remember, it wasn't that long ago when these guys were so tiny. They were a day old. See how they are right now? That's the way I want them the moment we're moving them into a new pasture, paddock. Head down, grazing, and not wandering around anything. I want them constantly eating, not being, because see, even with this size of a paddock, let me go like this. With that size of a, even with this small size of a paddock for these guys, they still can be picky with what they eat. And see, those guys, those 5 are just like having 5 children. Okay, they're going to come through the grass and they're going to eat the ice cream first. Okay, they're going to eat all the stuff that tastes good first. But the stuff that's really good for them, like the plantain and other grasses in here, they're not going to get until you force them. Okay, so that's why I want the paddocks smaller. Let me see if I can hold this with my other. There we go. Okay, so that's why the key thing is to make it smaller, to make them get the, like Joel Salatin says, the mob mentality, where they're just mowing it down as they're walking in, and then by the end of the day, there is nothing left there that we can, 3 days later, we can bring the egg mobile behind. Okay, so as we walk down through here, give you a quick tour of the egg mobile, our small egg mobile. We are in the rebuilding year of our egg layers, so we have a small amount of egg layers. Okay, so this is our small egg mobile. Okay, very simple, very small. We love our bright colors for some reason. I don't know, I don't pick them. We've got plenty of ventilation because we get hot where we're at. It's plain chicken wire, okay? And it is not 100% predator proof, but like I said last night, nothing is 100% predator proof. It's high enough up that I'm comfortable with it. If a raccoon wants to climb up there, that's his prerogative, okay? He can do that, and then I'll catch him. This is our door. Now this door, okay, when it locks. You're gonna be a grounded giraffe. Okay, you have your step downs. Okay, bam, bam, bam. Chickens can come out. Okay, now over here is just a regular piece of conduit, piece of piping with just a regular piece of Romex, right, with the ends out. Now what we do is we hook the electric, the poultry netting that has clips on each side. We hook them to this. We put a pole right here in line with this. We clip this down, bam, right there, so it completes the circuit. You come over here on this side and you end it right here, bam. Okay, so now my fencing goes out and around this, but I can still come up and get my eggs right here without having to turn my fencing off. Okay, I got my little nesting boxes in here, bam, that I can come get my eggs. We can collect our eggs, boom, 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 boom. Okay, and now in here we have roosts, right, so they can roost on. Okay, bam, comes in, close it up, okay, Now, how we pull it is right here. We got some airline cable, okay, that slides into some eye bolts down there, and then you have a loop on this end which will hook onto a regular ball, and bam, we can pull it with the tractor. Okay, more of my pecan trees right there. So that's getting put into service tomorrow. We have to collect our chickens that are out free ranging, out doing their thing, and they're not gonna like it, but we'll get over it. And come over here, let's check the honeybees real quick before it gets too dark. But I just wanted to jump on here and tell you guys that, you know, we had a little bit of a scare. Kind of thought Robin may be showing signs of possibly having a heart attack. But we went, had her blood pressure taken, take an aspirin, and it's gonna, it's probably just sore muscles from the way that she's been sitting all day working on her book and everything. It was a little bit of a scare, not much, but she scared the shit out of me, y'all, but that's neither here nor there. All right, honeybees. Boop. Here's the honeybees right there. Both hives are doing rather well. So, boop. There it is. Now we're going to walk over here to the garden. Still in this area that we do graze around our apple trees and everything. And here's the garden. We got watermelon right here. Watermelon. Right. We had beets over here, but they didn't do all that great. More watermelon and cantaloupe. One more time. Got corn. Corn got beat up pretty much from the storm, so we have to put it up right and repack it down. Corn, 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 and here's our squash. Now squash goes all the way down. Squash and zucchini on both sides of me here. We've got, let's see. Boop. We got, let's see where they at. Boom. We got those bad boys coming on right there. Okay. We got some zooks right there. There's one getting ready to needs to be picked. There's a couple more getting ready to need to be harvested. There's some summer squash in there that need to be taken care of. All of you that were busting my chops about Robin's freaking loofah gourds, there's our strawberries right there in the raised beds. This is the peanut bed. This is where we found that hammerhead worm. Here's the setup that's going to be Robin's loofah gourds, and we're going to do a video on that setup here. That's why we haven't done anything with it today. There's our asparagus. That was onions and garlic. We harvested them already. This is okra down through there. This is Johnson's grass out the wazoo that we need to finish weeding and pulling. This is what happens when you get a week straight of rain and you can't come out and take care of your garden. Okay, right behind me are sugar snap peas with peas just about ready to harvest. Okay, they're in the raised beds. This is our tube. Now we learned this from M.I. Gardner. This is a tube. It's basically a vermicomposting tube. You put compost in there, then you put your material that you want to compost, put some worms in there, and then you continue to fill it up with compost. And there are holes drilled in the pipe underneath the soil level. And the worms will go through in the bed, come back in here and eat, take their castings, and run it all along. Peppers all the way down. Some beans all the way down. This was supposed to be a row of what was supposed to be right here? More tomatoes. Okay, yeah. So we were supposed to have some radishes right here, but as you can see, the Johnson grass choked it out. We do have some radishes down on the far end over there. Tomatoes, we are fastening to our trellises now. Got a couple of rows here of tomatoes as we go down. This is tomatoes on both sides. Okay, and a third row of tomatoes right over there. So we got 3 rows of tomatoes. Now those are the radishes right there. Boom, boom, boom. Tomatoes, tomatoes. Blaze is trying to tie up the tomatoes the best he can without breaking anything. And so, say hi, Blaze.
Hi, Blaze.
See, that's why you always get kicked in the head.
That's not the only reason, but okay.
Here's more radishes on both sides of me here. Going down. Coming down here, you got more beans. The row that's been mulched, I believe, is, or it was, spinach. But this is what happens when you got one calf that doesn't believe that the electric fencing hurts. He came in and ate up most of the spinach. You got beans, and then you go into your pickling cucumbers right here. They just got tied up today. That's why they kind of look bad. Plus, they've gotten beat up pretty good by the storm we had. Okay. Now, this row, this row, this row, and this row were supposed to be carrots. But because of the storm, we've got to carefully go in there and weed it to see if we've got any carrots. I think we found a couple. Onions and lettuce. All onions. This row is all onions. This is the remaining bit of onions. And we got some romaine lettuce that bolted on us here. Here. We got some lettuce here. Right there. Very tasty. More lettuce. Swiss chard that needs to start to get harvested, or we're just feeding the bugs. And good old-fashioned beans. We got 1, 2.5 rows of beans here. Now these are more of your bush beans, like your dragon's tongue, stuff like that. And then this row here and this row here are potatoes. Now I'm already gotten flowers on my potatoes. We just wait for them to die back and we will harvest it. Now this is the cross I bear right here. This bed right here, believe it or not, at one point in time this bed went only from right here to here. But now it's all the way down to there. I planted zero of these. These are Jerusalem artichokes. And to do a comparison, okay, there are some that are taller than me already. Okay. Remember when Fried Squash did the class on Jerusalem artichokes, he told you guys that this is a very invasive plant, that we need to put it in a raised bed. I'm going to put an amendment to that. It needs to be a very secured raised bed with a solid bottom. Because these guys were in a raised bed, but it didn't have a solid bottom. And I don't know if you guys remember or not, but Daniel from Go for Green Living came up here, and myself, Robin, him, Krista, Anna, and the girls, we dug in this bed, and look, here's the bed. You can see that I wasn't lying, that they were in a bed. Okay, there's the bed. As you can see, whoop, there's the wood for the bed. Okay, now we have more in this jungle over here. Now, right around in here somewhere, there's supposed to be a horseradish plant. It came up 2 years in a row. I haven't seen it yet this year, but I think it got choked out. So we're going to have to dig it up and try to start again. But yeah. Jerusalem artichokes, yo. So, here's the thing. Once they start to flower, we're going to pop the flowers off. I'm going to have more Jerusalem artichokes than I want. If you want to try to grow Jerusalem artichokes and you want some tubers to start, please send an email to us at bigbearfarms@hotmail.com and we will get you some. Okay? We'll give you a little starter pack. If you need more after that starter pack, hit us up and we will work out some type of a deal to get them. But that was a real quick tour of the garden. We've been asked to bring back the live stream in the garden with Big Bear Homestead by a couple of people. If you guys want us to do that again, please let us know in the comments after this post if you want in the garden with Big Bear Homestead, and we'll probably start bringing back that live stream. So I just wanted to jump on here real fast, do a real quick, let you guys know why we weren't coming on doing the oils class, and do a real quick impromptu tour. I didn't show you guys the soft fruit area tonight. It's too dark over there. And so that'll be for another impromptu live stream. We're still cleaning this up in the garden, coming after all of these typhoons that we had. And once it gets all good and cleaned up and mulched, we're going to do some videos in there talking about the importance of mulch, talking about micro irrigation, talking about the row planting, how we did it this year, how we did the raised rows, stuff like that. So, I love you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me here for the last 25 minutes. Y'all, I ask that you guys say some prayers for Robin. I hope we get her feeling better. I just want to thank God that it wasn't a heart attack. And we will see you guys again this week. Pay attention. I may pop on live just to pop on live later. I may do Insomnia tonight. It depends on how Robin is doing, because I don't think anybody else is doing anything tonight because the hens do tomorrow night. So I may pop on and do Insomnia tonight also. So you guys be watching out for that. All right. Talk to you guys later. Y'all have a wonderful night. Bye. How you turn this thing off? I think like that. Are you sure you want? Yes.